Right, so playing with chainsaws again. Got a milling job to do next week. I say a job, I mean I just do it as a hobby really, with a friend. He knows of a chap who's just felled a tree. It's in a garden. A couple of 3 metre long butts I think. A couple of 3 feet wide, so might be some nice bit of wood there. So it'd be worth just mucking about for half a day. But having said that, I've got the old Stihl 084 AV here, and yeah, it's a big saw, it's a big power head, but it hardly gets used. And having saws that just lay around not doing much, it could be a death knell for them really. I bought it used some years ago. I haven't used it much, and it's pretty sick and tired. And it does need some parts really. Let's see if I can get it to start. So full choke, decompression down. Let's see what happens. Just give it a few. So that's a no. No. So there you go. That's the death knell for any saw, isn't it? Not starting. And there's multiple reasons for that, I reckon, on this particular saw. So definitely clean fuel. I think it's carb and spark issues. Definitely not lack of compression. It's certainly got plenty of that. So yeah, a bit more fiddling. Well, there's a gaping hole there, isn't there? The bore. Get the light on there. So that's the top of the cylinder. It's going up. No idea about what's going on in there. Can't really tell. It's all looking clean and tidy, and there doesn't seem to be any score marks on that cylinder. So all good, I suppose. The ring looks quite free and clean. So yeah, we should be happy with that in there. So as you can see, got the carb out. There it is. Let's have a look. So I've got the Toleston it's general purpose repair kit really, isn't it? Some washers and a new diaphragm and things like that. Right, this is basically all I can do with my limited facilities. So yeah, I've just stripped it down, i.e. just taking the top and bottom off it to get the gaskets there, and the little valves and the diaphragm and things. Taking the needles out, giving it a good old blow through, inspected it quite closely as best you can. And as far as you can tell, there isn't anything blocked in there, and you can see all some of the little ports in there and things like that. And just basically giving it a quick bath of WD-40, not having anything else to hand. So just going to leave that to sit now for 10 minutes while I go and have a coffee. Then I'll give it another blow through, reassemble it. Right, so let's have a little look, see what I've done here. So this is the new unit, and you can see here that little bolt there and that fixing there, that's the bolt spacings of this unit, and that fixing and that fixing is the spacing of the old unit, as you can see. So they're quite different. So I don't know, suck it and see, isn't it? So what I've had to do, I've made a little stainless bracket here. Into the old, into the existing fixing in the crankcase, and it sort of swept up to get over the difference in the height. Bolted that on, so that's there, and I've made a little packer to go in there as well. So that is super tight, but you do have a few reservations, don't you, in time, in terms of longevity. Is all that going to shake free? Hopefully not, but definitely got a spark, new spark plug, and this lead, so that's a lot better. And of course the off switch as well now. It's got much better leads, because the sheathing on these was shot, as you can see. Coil on. I'm going to button all this back up. Got the new mount on there. This little Mickey Mouse air vent on there. That all's working fine. Right, so I'm going to try and start it. Well, that's probably a day of my life I'm not going to get back, trying to get this sorted out. I guess the moral of the story is, with an old out-of-date saw, is you're going to have a problem finding parts, and you're going to have problems until you get your saw completely checked out, you know, and running A1. So I changed the gasket kit on the carb to try and improve things there. I swapped out the ignition coil. That's a new HT lead and a new plug, and just gave the saw clean. That's about as much as I could do. Well, it started and it was fine. I was trying to tune it. Well, I stopped it and then I couldn't get it to start at all. And I've had a right old 2 and 8 trying to get it all sorted out again, really. And I'm now back to the original ignition coil that I had, and it worked. It seems to work a treat. It works fine. I'd always used like a thick piece of card or something like that as a spacer between the ignition coil and the flywheel. Well, now I'm just down to one thickness of paper, normal sort of paper if you like. The ignition coil now seems super close to the flywheel, but I get a spark and it fires up, no problem at all. Certainly the ignition coil works fine, so happy with that. I've got a spare in stock, and with that I've spent that time making that bracket because the holes don't match, done all that, so that's there in stock. I'm running a new spark plug, fine, that's normal maintenance stuff. So hopefully the next time you'll see this, it will be running in the Alaskan mill, cutting up some cedar logs in a friend's front garden, which is the whole point of trying to get this going again. And then that will be the test then, to see how well or not this saw is actually running. It's cold. Let's see if I can get it running now, which would be the test. So full choke, back cool. Let's give it another go. So there, it starts and it goes. It didn't do that yesterday. So happy days. Let's see if it does it next week. Cheers.